Why, hello, how are you? Oh, God. Oh, nope, can't do that. Okay, so look, before we begin, my voice is done. I can't, like, it's done. The reason why I haven't made a video in like a week or two is because my voice was messed up. I was hoping that I could just wait for my voice to come back and it would be like a day or two, you know, but it's been like a week and it still hasn't come back. So yeah, I gotta do something. We can't just be fucking off, you know. So here we are back trying to make this video. Just be aware that while I am still gonna be my awesome, amazing, charming self that you all love, my voice is gonna be fucked up while I'm doing it. I would like that to not be the case, but God disagrees. If you've never been to my channel before, the gist is simple. We're gonna take the Z team from Dispatch and we're gonna chuck them up against 4 villains and be like, can they overcome these villains? Very, very simple. It's not gonna be a versus match of who could beat who. It's more so gonna be like, how would they be able to overcome this challenge? And we gotta take their characterization, stuff like that, into account when we talk about it. Does that sound like fun? I think it sounds like fun. Well, let's hope so. The whole freaking channel's built on it. So, you know, if it's not, then that would suck. But I've wasted up your time. Oh, fuck. So first things first, what I have to do is I gotta go over one correction before we actually get the video started. And yes, surprisingly, it is one correction. I know if you would have seen my original video and went down and read the comments, you'd think there'd be like 50 fucking corrections I had to do. But no, it's just one. All those other corrections that people said I had to make, that's bullshit. They're wrong, I'm right. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But there is one correction that I actually do legitimately have to make. And that one correction is the whole pictokinesis shit. In my original video, I said that punch-ups durability is very inconsistent, as sometimes a knife will deflect off his skin, while other times glass gets into his arm, no problem. Like, his durability is kind of unknown because it's sort of all over the place. This is not the case. If you look at the bios, it says that he has pictokinesis, which means the ability to alter one's density. I didn't know that because I don't know what the fuck pictokinesis meant. But let's be clear, you didn't know what the fuck pictokinesis meant either. Stop acting so goddamn smart. That's not a common word. I had so many comments on my video saying, well, you clearly didn't play the game. If you played the game, you would know all this shit about pictokinesis. No, you wouldn't. They don't say it in the game that that's a power that he has. No one ever states it directly, and we never get an explanation for what his powers even are. You play through the whole game and never know that he even has any kind of density manipulation. I had people claiming that I never went through the bios. If I never went through the bios, how did I know that Coupe has umbrakinesis, which is the manipulation of shadows and darkness? The only way you could possibly know that is by going through the bios. Obviously, I went through the bios. In fact, I'm gonna argue that these motherfuckers who said I didn't play the game and didn't go through the bios are fucking hypocrites. Because I have 8 hours of live streams of me going through the entire game, including the first live stream of the game where I went through all the bios, including their crimes and their powers. There is fucking video evidence of me doing this. And they're so quick to say I didn't play the game because I got one fucking thing wrong, but they didn't do their due diligence to go and make sure that their fucking comment was right, did they? No. Fucking assholes, man. Sometimes people just make mistakes. But yeah, to everybody else, the people who told me about the pictokinesis shit and did not accuse me of fucking lying about playing the game, you were correct. I didn't know what pictokinesis meant. So yeah, he can actually manipulate his density. That explains it. It's not a fucking plot hole. It's not an inconsistency. Groovy. Okay, let's get to the actual challenge. First up on the chopping block, we have Light Yagami from Death Note. And I actually don't know if this is a controversial one or not, putting him this low on the list. But yeah, I don't think that Light's going to do all that well. And that's mainly because he's not smart. He's dumb. Light's a dumb fucking character. I know that sounds weird because Death Note is supposed to be this series about 2 super geniuses kind of like matching wits in this game of cat and mouse and who can get over who and all that shit. When you really look at the decisions that Light makes, he is fucking stupid. He does a lot of stupid shit in this series. I mean, just think about it for a second. Let's say I gave you a notebook. If you had the Death Note, you had the ability to write the name of a person inside of a book, and you could schedule when they die and how they die. Anything you write in it, it happens. So if you want to write his name in a book and then he dies fucking, you know, next Tuesday by getting hit with a car and shit, would anyone ever be able to catch you? You could have that notebook for 1,000 fucking years and no one will ever find out that you're killing anyone, that anyone is even being murdered. They're just gonna think it's a bunch of fucking accidents. Like, it would be very, very difficult for you to get caught. You would have to be pretty fucking stupid to get caught with that ability. In our real world, serial killers are extremely difficult to catch because if you go and you kill someone that you don't know and have no relationship relationship ties to, it's basically impossible for police to find out who the fuck killed this person. We just don't have that level of technology to be able to find out this kind of shit. The vast majority of murders are solved via going through relationship paths. So it's like, this person dies. Okay, who does this person know? He's got a girlfriend, he's got a fucking brother, fucking parents, you know, here's his friends. Oh shit, his girlfriend has an ex who fucking hated him. Okay, let's go talk to that guy. Oh, he killed him. Of course, let's arrest that guy. This is how the shit works. If you don't know someone, it's basically impossible for them to catch you. Even if you use a gun. I know there's like this whole thing where it's like you shoot someone with a gun, they could trace that bullet directly. Yeah, that doesn't exist. Oh, at least it doesn't exist where I am. I don't know, maybe Chicago or some shit. But you could shoot somebody and then just fucking go home and they won't be able to match that bullet to your gun unless they actually get their hands on your gun, which they won't be able to do if you have no connections to that person. It's super easy to get away with murder is my point. And Light has a magical fucking book that allows him to kill people, anyone, without actually having to be anywhere near them when they die. Do you have any idea how piss easy it would be to get away with murders if you don't even have to do the one thing that is likely to get you caught, which is actually having to be at the location? And look, I know what people are gonna say. It's like, no, but you don't understand. Like, there's reasons as to why he makes the decisions that he makes. And that's true. There are reasons. They're not very good ones, but there are reasons. Like, for instance, let me give you an example of something stupid that he does, and the reason it's given in the manga of why he does it. At one point in the series, Light commits a series of murders that make it very obvious to L that he is, one, a student, and two, that he is on the investigative team that is searching for Kira. This is done on purpose. Light does this specifically to let L know these two things. Why does he do this? Because in Light's own words, he wants to kill L. And by doing this and allowing L to have these clues that brings him closer to Light, he will be able to get closer to him, which will hopefully lead to him learning L's name so that he can then kill L. I feel like I should have to explain why this is fucking stupid. L had no idea who Light was. Light wasn't even on his fucking radar. He had no way of getting on his radar. L was a minor threat. He was barely even a factor in Light's whole plan. So essentially, Light's plan was to take L, a minor threat, make him a much larger threat by getting him closer to catching him just so that he can murder him. But if he never made him the major threat in the first place, he wouldn't have had to kill him. He only did this because of ego. L showed up and challenged Light to try and kill him, and Light couldn't do it because he didn't know his name. And because this damaged Light's ego, he was like, oh shit, now I gotta fucking take this dude out under any means necessary, even if it means endangering my current comfortable position and possibly leading to my own death, which does very clearly lead to his own death. It's all because of ego and narcissism, which I understand is the point, but I mean, that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter why he does the stupid thing that leads to his death. All that matters is that he does the stupid thing that leads to his death. There's no reason that can be given that's good enough to justify why Light purposely put himself on the investigation squad with the people who are tracking him, why he let them know that the killer was on the investigation squad, why he let them know that the killer was a student, why he did any of this shit. It would have been significantly smarter if he just minded his own fucking business, stayed at home, went to school when he had school, came home, went to parties with friends on the weekends, and then while all of this was happening, he was just living his normal life, putting names in the books of people that he wanted to kill to start the whole Kira thing. He didn't have to get directly involved with all the people that were trying to kill them and purposely give them so many fucking clues that eventually led to him getting caught and murdered. It's really, really dumb. But that's not even the only reason why he's just is gonna lose here. Another major reason, probably an even bigger reason than his dumbassery, is that he literally is not capable of killing a large majority of Z-Team, arguably any of Z-Team. For one, none of their names are public knowledge. No one knows who the fuck they are. Their names are actually super held under lock and key. Secret identities are actually a really big deal in the Dispatch universe, to such an extent that even Robert, the main character and the boss of Z-Team who runs the team, didn't know the names of any of its members. Not only that, like a solid half of the team isn't actually going to be affected by the Death Note even if you did get their names. The Death Note has many rules on how it is allowed to be operated, and one of those rules is that it can only affect humans. It is specifically worded that any human's name that is written in this book will die. And the rules are taken very seriously, and the word wording of the rules is very, very important. There are multiple times within the series that just based on a different interpretation of the wording, he's kind of able to make little loopholes to get around the rules. But this one, there's really no loophole. It just straight up says humans' names can be written in this book and no one else. And considering Z-Team is like half non-humans, that means the Death Note literally won't be able to work against them. It won't work against Malevola, who is literally stated to be a demon. Well, technically she's a half demon, and we don't know what the other half is, but the assumption would be human. So maybe there's some like something there, you know, she's technically kind of human. Maybe it'll work. But there's absolutely no questioning that it's not going to work on Gollum, who is just sentient mud that was brought to life via magic, or Phenomena Man, who is an alien from another planet. Neither of them are human. That means the Death Note can't possibly work on them. And there's a solid argument to be made that a lot of the other characters who you would think are human might also not be human. Like, for instance, Sonar. Is Sonar human? I mean, I think he was born a human, but he's a giant fucking bat monster. Would the Death Note consider Sonar to be someone who is human? Would the Death Note consider any character with crazy superpowers to be human? Or would it be like a Marvel DC situation where you have metahumans and mutants are considered different than humans? Like they're a different species or evolution of the species. So would it work on literally any of them? It's very possible the Death Note might only work on Robert because he's the only non-powered person. We don't know. But we know for damn sure it's not going to work on characters like Gollum and Phenomena Man, and very likely not Malevola either. That means even if they do go up against one another, even if they do try to find Light, and Light does try to discover their names and try to take them out, he won't actually be able to. He's literally incapable by the rules of the Death Note to kill a large number of Z-Team. And as we know in his own series, Light is perfectly willing to put himself in harm's way if it means getting closer and figuring out a way to destroy his enemies, even if it's not really that necessary. If someone like Robert and the Z-Team start investigating into Kira and trying to find out where he is so that they can bring him to justice and he finds out about it, he's gonna do some very stupid things, which will make it easier for them to find him. And you can't even argue that this is something he wouldn't do because he literally does it to L. It's what leads to his death. And honestly, it's arguable if L is even a better detective than someone like Robert, who is a very, very good detective, but also can hack into any technology across the entire city casually, which is something L couldn't do. We see throughout Dispatch, Robert can literally just take control of all security cameras in the whole city and see whatever he wants to see, whenever he wants to fucking see it. Especially by the end of Death Note, Light is very open about the fact that he's Kira. He's not even really hiding it that much anymore. He gets really fucking cocky about the shit that he can do. And if he's as open as he is in that series in the Dispatch universe, he's 100% going to get caught. But honestly, the reason why he's here, and really the only reason you need, is that it's literally not possible for him to defeat Z-Team. And even if you want to say it's unlikely that they'll be able to catch him, it doesn't matter. They at least have a chance to catch him, and he has no chance of defeating all of Z-Team, as half of them, the Death Note doesn't work. And I don't see Light going and murdering fucking Gollum and Malevola and Phenomena Man with his own power and not using the Death Note. Like, we've never really seen him do that, and he's not a super powered being, so no, he'd be like immediately killed or captured or something if he even tried something like that. So yeah, Z-Team might catch Kira. I actually think it's likely they will, but even if you disagree they won't, they have a chance of doing it, and Light has absolutely no chance of eliminating Z-Team. Ergo, Z-Team kind of wins by default. Actually, I know this is kind of cheating, but it's just too interesting to not bring up. We're not talking about Shroud, we're talking about the Z-Team. But if Shroud was in this situation, Shroud's entire power is being able to know things that no one knows. He's capable of calculating probability and using math and things. He can predict what people will do before they do it and know things that he otherwise shouldn't be able to know. He's also a character that's kind of similar to Red Hood in the way that he thinks heroism has failed, so he's using control and violence and evil means to overtake, defeat, and control villains in Los Angeles. If we put Shroud up against Light, if we're taking Light, we're throwing him in Los Angeles in the Dispatch universe, and Shroud is there, Shroud will find out who Light is in a fucking second. I mean, his literal power is knowing things that you shouldn't be able to know. So if the whole strength that Light has is no one knows who he is, and you put him up against Shroud, whose power is knowing shit, he's probably gonna figure it out. That's just a guess. I'm not gonna say that for sure, but most likely, yeah, he's gonna fucking figure it out. He's gonna kill him. So we don't even really necessarily need the Z-Team, because Shroud's gonna handle that shit for them. You know, again, kind of cheating, but it's likely that will likely happen. How's it going, guys? I'm filming this section way after I had already finished the other part, the video. Like, the video's done. I filmed the video hours ago, but doing this shit fucked up my voice even more. Like, it's bad, dude. It's like, it's just all fucked up. It's really bad. I think I just added like another week of fucking healing to the process. So do me a favor. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share, hype, do all of that general shit that you do that helps with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff, because I'm probably gonna be another couple of days before you get another video. Just kind of is the way it is. It's much appreciated, and hope you guys have a good week whenever it is next time I see you. All right, let's get back to the video. Next up, we have the Black Dragon from Mortal Kombat series. And honestly, I wasn't sure whether or not to put these guys first or to put Light Yagami first, because I think they're both gonna kind of like fuck up just as much. Like, really the only question here is which one is more likely to happen. Will the Z team catch Light, this character they're not gonna be able to find all that easily, at least not at first, or take down the entirety of an international crime syndicate? I think either one is gonna be relatively easy for Z team for the most part. The only reason why the Black Dragon is going after Light is because there's more people to take down, so it'll probably take longer for them to get through all of them. That's really it. In terms of the Black Dragon, they're mostly just regular dudes. Like 99% of the organization are just fucking regular dudes. The only superpower dudes that we even know that are a part of them, for the most part, at least the ones that are notable, is Kabal and Kano. And both of them kind of fucking suck. Kano has been beaten by basically everyone on the roster at one point or another, and he dies by getting shot in the face with a fucking pistol. Kabal is a little better, I guess. I mean, technically, I guess Kano should be better than him, even though there's really no reason why he should be, because Kabal is so fast that he should immediately kill basically everybody other than maybe Raiden on the entire roster, but he just doesn't because he chooses not to. Like, we've seen Kabal be able to deflect a bunch of bullets that are shot at him at point blank. Like, they'll shoot him at him and he'll just ding, like it's not even a big deal. And then when he gets to the person and starts fighting, he'll just forget that he can move that fast and he'll just fight normally. Even though we've seen other instances of characters like Johnny Cage, who are significantly better than Kabal, not be able to react to bullets at all. In fact, basically no one in the entire Mortal Kombat universe is shown being able to react to bullets, with the exception of characters like Kabal and Kano. I don't really get this. Like, can Kabal only use his speed powers for a split second and he can't use it anymore? So he always wastes it to defend himself against bullets and then he just stops using it? Wouldn't he just be able to instantly slice all these characters up? We know these characters can't dodge bullets and he can deflect tons of them at the same time. Like, he should be so much faster. They shouldn't be able to fight him at all. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because against the Z team, he's actually not that fast. As fast as deflecting bullets is, flying to the moon in a very short amount of time that Phenomenal Man does is considerably faster. Also, many people on the Z team, characters like Kano and Kabal, just straight up aren't capable of damaging. Like, neither of them would be capable of damaging characters like Phenomenal Man, Mecha Man, Golem, or Blonde Blazer. They just can't do anything to them. As far as Z team being able to locate and take out the Black Dragon, it's not going to be all that hard, because the Black Dragon isn't even really a secret organization. Everyone knows they exist. The United States government know they exist. Regular civilians are aware of their existence. They're a known quantity within the Mortal Kombat universe. They're not a secret society. This means the investigative shit isn't even going to be necessary, as they know they exist and generally know where they are. As I've already said before, Mecha Man has eyes all over Los Angeles. At bare minimum, possibly he can have eyes in other locations as well. Maybe he can hack in all across the country. Maybe he can hack in all across the planet. We don't know. In the game, it's really just Los Angeles. It's actually like a large section of Los Angeles. It's his jurisdiction. Well, actually, that's not true, because at the end of the game, they actually widen his jurisdiction and he has control over cameras and shit in that entire area, all of Los Angeles. So it's not just his jurisdiction. It seems like he can just control whatever the fuck he wants. And if he's capable of hacking into cameras and things like this all across the entire city and possibly all across the entire country, who knows, it's not going to be that difficult to find where these people are. For the sake of argument, let's just say that they don't have to take out the entire international organization, because SDN, as far as we know, isn't an international organization. They are just in Los Angeles. So let's just say they have to deal with the Black Dragon that are in Los Angeles. And if that's the case, yeah, it's gonna be super easy. They're not that good at hiding, and they're all, for the most part, regular dudes who aren't capable of beating like the top 5 or 6 members of the Z team. Like, if you could really just put Golem against the entirety of the Black Dragon and none of them can hurt him, let alone won't actually put him down. None of them will be capable of actually hurting Phenomena Man or actually hurting Mecha Man. We're not even 100% sure if they're capable of hurting someone like Sonar. And he should be like mid-tier for the most part. Punch Up is another one, you know, because the whole pictiokinesis, the fucking the density, they can't hurt him with guns. They can't hurt him with knives. Kano's little laser shit's not gonna work. They literally can't do anything. The one thing that they have is fighting skill. They are all really, really good fighters. But that's not gonna matter when you're going up against a team of people who could fucking crush your skull like it's not even a pro. It's just like a fucking grape or something. Legitimately, the only question worth asking is how long it's going to take them to take out that many people. Like, how many people do they have in Los Angeles, and how long is it gonna take all of Z-Team to actually round up all the members of the Black Dragon and throw them in prison? And once they do round them all up and they do throw them in prison, you still have the fact that it's an international organization, and they'll probably come back in that city at some point to be dealt with yet again. That's really the only issue, is that the Black Dragon is significantly larger of an organization than SDN is. Is that going to be a constant problem that you're going to have in your city that you can't deal with because you just don't have the numbers to take out an organization that large? But other than just the size of the organization, taking them out is going to be fucking cake. It's a cakewalk. It's not even, like, what are they going to do? They're so fucked here. Next up, we have Shredder and the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, normally when I make these videos, I like to pull a single character from a single universe, like one version. Like, I'll take the version of the character from the comics and only the comics, or a version of the character from one particular show. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm really just going to pull Shredder from basically everything. And the reason why is because I'm kind of baffled by people's reactions when I said I was going to put this character in a series. As I pretty much always do, I created a community post before this video came out announcing who was going to appear in my next video and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the comments were saying the same thing about Shredder, which is that it depends on what version of Shredder I use to how well he's going to do. There's versions where he would be instantly annihilated, and there's versions where he would solo the entire Dispatch universe. And I'm so fucking confused by this because I can't think of a single version of Shredder that would just solo the entire Dispatch universe. I know basically every version of Shredder. I'm not gonna say every version, but definitely the vast majority of Shredders I am well aware and well versed of. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. I don't see how he could possibly, like, if I joined their side of the fence for a second and I tried to come up with, okay, what could be a way that he could solo the entire Dispatch universe? I can only really think of maybe two things, possibly. The first one being the Technodrome, but I think that that's a super weak, like, okay, so the Technodrome is this giant, super ugly fucking ball on wheels thing. It's a giant weapon. It's capable of opening up black holes to other universes and shit. It has been used in certain fictions to destroy planets. It's a very powerful machine. The problem is, that's not Shredder's power. It's just like a vehicle that he is in possession of at certain points in the story, and it can be shut down, it can be destroyed. It's like a giant plot device. It's not something Shredder himself can do. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been able to shut down the Technodrome or destroy it or blow it up or whatever. It's not even really shown to have higher durability than any other vehicle. Like, we've seen it be blown up just by very normal means. So I don't know why the Z-Team wouldn't be able to deal with the Technodrome if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were able to deal with the Technodrome. The Z-Team has significantly stronger characters on its team than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are, and they have things like not having to break into the Technodrome to destroy it because they have characters like Malevola who can literally teleport the entire team anywhere in the Technodrome that she wants to teleport them into. So I don't see them dealing with the Technodrome as being that much of a problem. The only other thing I could think of that they could possibly say would absolutely solo is maybe Tengu Shredder, possibly from the 2003 cartoon, but I mean, they'd have to be ignoring so many factors to come to that conclusion. So to give you a basic rundown, in the 2003 cartoon, they introduced this group known as the Ninja Tribunal. The Ninja Tribunal are strong enough that all of them coming together is capable of blocking out the sun with the moon. They cause an eclipse. That's cool, I guess. And I could see maybe in a roundabout way, possibly that Tengu Shredder matches the power of the Ninja Tribunal, maybe in a way, giving Shredder the power to create an eclipse, but like, No. We know for a fact that the Ninja Tribunal lost to Shredder on purpose to teach a lesson. We also know that Tengu Shredder took control of the Mystic Ninjas, and the Mystic Ninjas were too strong for him to control, so he had to specifically weaken them before he was capable of controlling them, and the Mystic Ninjas are nowhere near the strength of the Ninja Tribunal. Comparing Shredder to the Ninja Tribunal is a mistake. He's just straight up shown in the story and stated directly to be nowhere near their power. So I don't know why you would do that. And also, the Ninja Tribunal is multiple characters, and they all had to come together and do this weird magic-y bullshit to cause the eclipse to happen, and it's not shown to be their own physical power, but more so a ritual that they were doing. So like, there's a lot more to it than just Shredder can grab the moon and pull it in front of the sun. That didn't happen. Tengu Shredder is cool, and he's more powerful than normal Shredder, but he's not some planet-busting being that can like take on anything. I don't see the version of Shredder that would be able to take on Z-Team in the way that people were saying. People were saying in my comments section that he would slaughter the whole fucking universe. Like, how? That's not happening. While I do think that Shredder is far more powerful than I think most people give him credit for, and I'm not even talking about Tengu Shredder, I'm just talking about like normal fucking Shredder. Normal Shredder is a fucking beast, dude. I don't think people give him enough credit that he's probably one of the greatest martial artists in all of fiction. Like, he's really fucking good. He is consistently shown in all of his crossovers with Batman to be a better hand-to-hand fighter than Batman is. He's unbelievably skilled. Each individual member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are some of the best martial artists like ever, and he's capable of taking on all four of them by himself relatively casually. Shredder is constantly fighting aliens, giant superpowered mutants, huge fucking robots, literal tanks by himself as a normal human being, and takes them on and beats them all very easily for the most part. He doesn't face a whole lot of challenges. And while yes, in the movie, like the live action 1990 movie, we see Splinter beating the shit out of Shredder like it's not even a big deal. In other fictions, usually Shredder is shown to be better than Splinter is. He's really fucking good, and I do think that he needs to be given his proper respects. But saying that he just solos the whole universe, it's not happening. Even the most powerful versions of him aren't. Really, the main thing about Tengu Shredder that's really good is the Sword of Tengu has the ability to kill the Mystic Ninjas, and the Mystic Ninjas are elemental beings who are supposed to be immortal. It should not be possible for them to die under normal means, but the Sword of Tengu is capable of killing them. That means that there are characters in Dispatch who under normal circumstances shouldn't be able to die, like Gollum, who Tengu Shredder should be able to kill with the Sword of Tengu. And honestly, I think that it's not that hard to say that in a 1v1 fight, Shredder is taking on the vast majority of Z-Team by himself. Honestly, not even 1v1 fight. I think that if he fought against, say, Sonar, Malevola, Invisigal, Gollum, Flambe, Punch Up all at the same time, he's probably killing all of them. The only thing that's really questionable is whether or not he would be able to actually damage someone like Punch Up or Phenomenon or the more durable characters. But outside of them just being too physically durable for him to actually harm, he's killing basically everyone else. He's a way better fighter, and he has crazy magical weapons and shit that's capable of killing even the unkillable. So he's definitely doing well. I'm not going to say he's not going to do well, but there is a limit. There is a hard fucking wall he's going to run into. That hard wall being Phenomenon. And this is where we have to kind of talk about some stuff that people were arguing me about when it came to Phenomenon that I don't agree with. So in my previous video, I talked about Phenomenon and his ability to destroy the sun and basically destroy the entire solar system if he wanted to. That power wasn't really realistic as far as what we see him do in the actual game, because he can't even fucking beat Shroud in like a mech suit. Are we supposed to buy that the mech suit is like a solar system exploding fucking weapon? There's no evidence to that, so why doesn't he just wipe out everyone? If he's that fast and that physically strong, he should be able to deal with Shroud by himself. And most people argue with me that, well, actually he doesn't destroy the sun, he absorbs it, and that's different than destroying it. Well, one, no, it's not. All destroying means is altering the properties of something till it's unrecognizable. That's what destroying means. I am aware that he absorbed the sun. A lot of people were saying that I didn't know that he absorbed the sun. My clip that I used in the video literally had him saying that he absorbed the sun. I edit my own videos. I'm aware that he absorbed. You're just like picking apart my wording when I say destroyed. If you absorb something to the point that doesn't exist anymore, you fucking destroyed it by definition. The people who were arguing that I didn't know he absorbed it were really just arguing semantics for some reason. I guess I don't know why. But those people who are arguing that he absorbed it and didn't destroy it and that was somehow different, I don't really understand where they're coming from. Like, there were a lot of comments who were saying, well, you know, absorbing it, that's not the same thing as destruction. It's not like he could just punch the sun into oblivion. Absorbing is like, that's a specific hacksy ability and that wouldn't be able to be utilized in a fight against the character. And yeah, this doesn't make any sense because I feel like these people aren't aware how much energy is in the sun. Like, if you absorbed all of the energy of the sun to the point that it no longer existed, which is what Phenomenon said, that's enough energy to destroy planet Earth 800 trillion times, which is why in that video I was talking about how he would completely obliterate the entirety of the invincible universe if that was true. Like, the amount of power that he would have on his person in that moment would be absolutely insane. Yes, he's absorbing the sun and not destroying it, but that energy is in his body now. He is withstanding that inside of him. Is he absorbing it and then just doing fucking nothing with it? Like, what happens to the energy once he absorbs it? Is he capable of punching someone with it? Is he capable of unleashing it in a giant fucking Dragon Ball Z blast? Even if it was just staying inside him and not leaving his body, he would still be withstanding that amount of force. If what he is saying is true, he would be significantly more powerful than the entirety of the invincible universe. He would be a god level fucking being. And this is what I was kind of arguing, like, I just don't see the evidence that that's the case. However, there was one comment that was on there that kind of made me change my mind on that, and I actually think that it is possible that he does have that level of power. And basically one of the comments said something along the lines of, there's a line in the game, which I totally fucking forgot about, where he is handcuffed and he doesn't instantly break out of the handcuffs. And when asked why he doesn't decide to break out of the handcuffs, he says because it's the handcuffs' purpose and he didn't want the handcuffs to feel bad. Like, he wanted them to fulfill their purpose. So he just pretended that he could be restrained by handcuffs when we know he couldn't. And it made me start thinking about the end of the game when all of the characters of Z-Team are all being held at gunpoint and Robert is having his whole conversation with Shroud and Phenomenon is just standing there, like, pretending basically to be held at gunpoint by these guys who we know won't hurt him. We've seen him be shot into space and he's fine, but he's pretending that they are holding him at gunpoint. And it's not until Robert attacks Shroud and starts punching him that Phenomenon then, like, that gives Phenomenon the okay to start punching the dudes who are holding him at gunpoint. And it just kind of made me look at his character in a different way, where it's like, Phenomenon is a weird, like, spaceman who just wants to fucking fit in. And he's doing what he needs to fit in. He doesn't want to go and just slaughter a bunch of people and just beat the shit out of all of the villains. He wants to be a part of the group and a part of the Z-Team. He doesn't want to excel above it. He just wants to fucking fit in. So he's just sort of playing along. I think that this actually matches his character really, really well. It explains all the decisions that we see him make throughout the series, as well as many of the dialogues that he has with all of the other Z-Teams. He implies this multiple times, that he is holding shit back because he just wants other people to, like, feel good about themselves, basically. This is not only fucking hysterical, but it's also actually pretty smart writing, because all of these Superman-like characters are always written inconsistently. Superman's written inconsistently, Omni-Man's written inconsistently. All these characters are super inconsistent, because it's really hard to write a character like this who can just do anything and is way more powerful than everybody else in the series. But when you're talking about Phenomenon and you're literally writing it into his character that he's holding back to make people feel, it explains the inconsistencies. He is this god-level being who can destroy the solar system at any moment he wants to, but he's just like a good dude who wants to fucking play Magic the Gathering with his friends, and he wants everyone to be happy together and just, like, be cool and chill and hang out, and he wants to be liked. And dude, how can you choose Waterboy over Phenomenon? He's fantastic. He's so great. The Magic the Gathering line alone is worth choosing him over Waterboy. Fuck Waterboy. If I played this game 1,000 times, I am picking Phenomenon 1,000 fucking times. I'll pick Waterboy once so that I can get the trophy, and then I'm immediately reloading the checkpoint and doing Phenomenon. I will never play through this whole game with Waterboy because I want fucking Phenomenon. He's better. And if this is the case, and it is true that what Phenomenon said is factual, and that his characterization, which I do think is probably the case, that he's holding back at all times because he just doesn't want, like, to be this overbearing, overpowered character, he just wants to fit in with the team, then there's really no way that Shredder or the Foot Clan can do anything to Phenomenon. Now, this is still a bad thing, because if Phenomenon's not willing to go all out and just kind of trying to fit in and going along with the friends and shit, then he'll never really unleash his full power. But he also can't be beaten. And if he can't be beaten, it's just a matter of time before he beats Shredder. Basically, when it comes to this particular round and against the Shredder, Phenomenon hard fucking carries. Because I really don't see a lot of evidence that anybody else on the team won't be able to be defeated by Shredder and his Tengu powers and just seeing the shit that he's been able to do. Like, he does possess magic and shit. But yeah, I don't think he's this planet-destroying entity that can, like, move the moon in front of the sun and shit, which I'm assuming people think he is if you're gonna say that he just annihilates all of fucking Dispatch. Oh shit, I didn't even fucking think about this. The Technodrome, you know, the whole thing where they have to break in? Malevola can teleport into the Technodrome, and then Robert can just hack the Technodrome and shut it down from basically anywhere, because we've seen he can hack into an entire fucking city. Even if you want to assume that he can't do it from outside the Technodrome, Malevola bringing him inside the Technodrome would mean that he would be able, like, the Technodrome is fucking casual beaten. Like, teleportation and the ridiculous hacking abilities is all they would need to take out the Technodrome. That's not a threat. It's really the Tengu stuff that's going to be the majority of the threat, and yeah, I think that they can deal with it with their more powerful characters. So yeah, Z-Team wins, but this will be a challenge. I would even argue that there are some mutants in the Foot Clan that are capable of taking on and fighting a lot of the characters on the team. Like, I think Coupe might have a challenge with, you know, having to fight Bebop and Rocksteady, and Golem might have a challenge fighting some of the characters. It's like, he has a bunch of super mutants and shit, and if I count the Krang, that's like a whole other level of shit that's gonna be a problem. By the end of the day, they hard fucking stop at Phenomenon. Even if Phenomenon does hold back, inevitably, eventually, you know, he can defeat them whenever he just decides to do so, which is not necessarily the case for the next group. Last up, or certainly not least, we have Albert Wesker and the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil. That is a mouthful. The reason why Wesker's last is not because I think that Wesker is the most powerful. I actually think that Shredder would fuck him up if they ever got into a fight. It's not that he's the smartest. It's not that he's the most capable. It's really just the fact that it's a fucking zombie plague. He releases a zombie plague, and are the characters immune to a zombie plague? If yes, they're good. If not, they're not good. And we don't have any evidence that they're immune to a zombie plague. Some of them is going to be obvious. Golem's absolutely going to be immune to a zombie plague. But everybody else is arguable. Maybe a demon's immune to a zombie plague. I don't fucking know. Maybe Phenomenon and Alien's immune to a zombie plague. I don't fucking know. But what about the entire rest of the city? All of Los Angeles? The Umbrella Corporation decides to, or more so Albert Wesker, decides to release a zombie plague in the middle of Los Angeles. None of the characters on the Z team have the skills necessary to halt a zombie plague. You're gonna have to get the military involved and start nuking cities and shit. Like, they can't stop it. At best, they can go around killing fucking zombies and they'll survive, I guess, but they won't succeed in saving the city. Like, Wesker will win in the long run because they won't be able to stop the spreading of the plague. None of them have the power to do so. Even Phenomenon, with all of his insane power, what's he gonna do to stop the zombie plague? The best he can do is wipe out all life in the city, which he's capable of, sure, but that's not a victory. You failed to protect the city from Wesker. That's really the only reason why this character is last. Now, Wesker's actually not that smart, to be fair, when it comes to, like, making the plagues. He always needs other science. He made a shitty version of the plague in the early games, and then eventually he needed other people to come and improve upon a design that he started off making. So it's not like he could just make anything, but if we're talking about the entirety of the Umbrella Corporation, all the scientists that are working there, and we're putting them in the Dispatch universe where you have tons and tons and tons of superheroes with all kinds of different powers and crazy, like, genetics, it's very possible, and also not just possible, but very likely, that whatever zombie plague that they make, whatever version of the T-virus that they make in the Dispatch universe, is going to be considerably stronger and do way more badass shit than it ever did in Resident Evil. Resident Evil outside of the T-virus is just a normal universe with normal fucking people, with the exception of, like, you know, Resident Evil 6, where all the characters are fucking superheroes. But outside of that, it's mostly supposed to be a normal kind of B-movie universe. If you're in a universe where characters like Toxic exist, and characters like Phenomenon exist, and demons exist, and fucking mud people exist, and giant Batmen exist, you can make all kinds of different crazy fucking viruses. The T-virus can do all kinds of new stuff that it wouldn't be able to do in the Resident Evil universe. The Z team is going to have to try and stop not only a T-virus, which is arguable they'll even be able to stop properly, but they'll have to stop a version of the T-virus that is so incredibly enhanced with the genetics of countless superpowered characters. It's gonna be a whole new thing you're gonna be looking at. Like, this is a totally different, way more powerful. The zombies that it creates are gonna be way more powerful. Nemesis is gonna look like a bitch by comparison to the shit that they're gonna be able to make in the Dispatch universe. And this is gonna be a serious fucking problem. And honestly, even the question of whether or not these viruses are going to affect people like Malevola and Phenomenon is really, that question doesn't make sense. Because in Resident Evil, they live in a universe where Phenomenon doesn't exist. In a universe where Phenomenon does exist and they are capable of possibly studying his DNA, they could create a T-virus that uses his DNA in order to basically get rid of his immunity to it. Like, they can study these characters and make stronger versions of the virus that can take over characters that it otherwise wouldn't be able to take over. There's fucking magic in Dispatch. We know this because Gollum was just a pile of fucking dirt that was brought to life via magic. So could Umbrella Corporation hire mages to enhance their fucking T-virus to start affecting people like mud monsters? Actually, speaking of which, if Gollum's a mud monster, why is he drinking alcohol in that one scene where they all go to the bar together? Like, that's not doing anything to him, right? Like, even if he wasn't mud, it wouldn't do anything to him because it's like one glass and he's a giant fucking monster. He's huge. Like, he would need more than that to get any drunkenness. But like, he doesn't have normal biology. He's fucking mud that's sentient. Why is he drinking anything? I should have questioned this earlier. Whatever, doesn't matter. Point is, the possibility that it can create a crazy magical fucking T-virus that like infects supervillains and superheroes and shit, and even gives normal people crazy superhero, supervillain abilities. There's a lot of shit that could happen here. And I really don't think the Z team is gonna be able to deal with any of this, really, like none of it at all. It's gonna be fucked up, dude. It's gonna be super fucked up. But that's gonna be all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. My voice is getting worse as I record this. I need to stop now. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you should see 4 videos up here on the screen right now. Click on them, you can watch them. Hopefully you'll enjoy them. My voice should be better in any of them, literally any one of them. My voice will be better. So check those out, and you can see what I'm actually like, because I don't usually sound like this. Although I do have like this strange, like kind of sexy quality, don't you think? It's kind of, like, sort of like, you know, sexy. And always remember, y'all stay safe out there, you hear?